Hey founders, my name is Kevin Hale. I'm one of the partners at Y Combinator, helping run the Startup School program. Today we're going to talk about group sessions, and I'm going to set some guidelines for your first group session. There's 4 things that we kind of use group discussions for at Y Combinator. One is to practice talking about our companies. It's the thing that you're going to do more than anything else in the company. You're going to have to learn how to talk about it to other founders, investors, future employees, to users, etc. And each one of those groups of people will have slightly different pitches. In our group sessions, we're going to focus on the investor pitch. This is the one that you need when you're talking to investors, when you're trying to get people excited to basically be interested in investing in your company. There's a video that Michael Seibel has done talking about the difference between a customer pitch and an investor pitch. In our opinion, you as the founder, as the experts in your company, you will probably learn best how to communicate your vision, company, and value to your customers. When it comes to investors, you have to show value in a very different way. Show why it's exciting, but more importantly, just clearly explain what you do. It's actually the biggest problem most founders make. We have to start with clarity, and then we can get to sort of inspiration afterwards. And we usually find through these exercises and group discussions is that we're not as clear as we think when we're talking to the average person. An investor pitch will usually have no jargon, will not have a lot of sort of marketing speak. It is a very simplified version of the talk. It allows people to understand very quickly what you're building, to visualize what it is you're making, and it should be very concise. We call this investor pitch at YC the one-liner, and paradoxically, or ironically, it's actually sometimes 2 sentences. So I'll give you a good example. So if we go around the room, you're going to say your company's name and your one-liner. And so for me, that would have been, my company is called Woofu, and we are an online form builder. We help people create contact forms, online surveys, power event registrations, and process simple online payments. A bad one-liner is one that tries to be all-encompassing and be a little bit more vague and have a little bit more buzzwords. So a bad one would be like, my company is called Woofu, and I'm trying to shift the paradigm in online data collection. That second description is not put a specific noun in people's head, and it basically results in a follow-up question that is basically trying to figure out more of what exactly it is that you have built. So the way this is going to work to help you sort of go through this is we'll start with a person in alphabetical order, and then we'll also ask some other person to keep time. We want our pitch to be no longer than 1 minute, and it should ideally be much shorter than that. So whoever the first person goes, you'll say your company's name, you'll say your one-liner, and then there'll be sort of a pause. That person will pick a random person in the group session, and that next founder will try to repeat what you said. The way this works out best is please do not take any notes. You should try to just do your best. And if you are picked and you basically say I can't remember, I don't understand, that's exactly what you should say, and that's not a problem. Good one-liners are ones that are easy to understand and easy to sort of spread by word of mouth. You'll notice in the software that there are 3 things that you can also give feedback on to each one of the other founders in your group session. One of them is, do I understand what the company is building? The second one is like, am I excited about the problem? And the third one is, does this seems like the kind of team that I would like to work with? And that feedback is given anonymously to each one of the founders. And this goes to the second thing that we like to do with group sessions. It's an opportunity to get honest feedback about your company. So please do rate your other founders. That'll go to them. You will also receive that feedback, and you'll find that to be pretty valuable over the next 10 weeks, having basically 50 to 80 other people give you feedback on your company pitch. After you guys all do your one-liners, then what I would like you guys to do is to go back around again and just say your goal by the end of Startup School is to achieve X, and that your biggest obstacle you see is Y. And so then hopefully discussion will open up, and if other people can sort of participate or sort of help other people out based on what they hear on the obstacles, or they have questions about people's sort of startup, you may talk freely. So again, in this first group session, we're going to practice our one-liner. It should be an investor pitch, very, very simple, not your customer pitch. You should try a good investor pitch is one that can be repeated back pretty easily. And if someone is unclear or is unsure of what you're talking about, hopefully you will get feedback in that room. Thank you very much, and I will see you guys next week.